So I was running through some games, making a previous video talking about some weird accusations about some hacking in the game, where some people on the enemy team thought that Widowmaker was clearly one of the most obvious hackers in the game. I made a whole video on that. I'll link it down in the description so you guys can check that out. Great video. Also shows a lot of different things about this game that isn't always covered a lot on YouTube. But I went over this game and I wanted to show you a little bit of this. How I here play Genji, how I build my ult charge really fast. I'll actually scale up my cross a little bit. How I build my ultimate charge, how I kind of play around these high grounds. Again, yes, I'm smurfing. This is my diamond account that I've had for a very long time. That's why it's so high level. I bought this account back in season 2. And this was like my account where I practiced like every hero that I didn't know how to play back then, because I was like, I think I was diamond. Like I placed in season 2, I placed in 2.7k, and I ended in diamond. So I bought this account to just like grind out Genji and grind out these heroes that I was not very good on, and that's why it's so high level. But it's an account that I use for playing and just having a relaxed time. If I have Lightstorm, which actually is far lower level, but it's like Masters, and then I have my main account, of course, but this is kind of that account. And yes, I am just kind of relaxing, having a good time on this, but I want to kind of show how constantly seeking high ground, something that I talk so much about when I do private coaching, something that so many engineers need to do more, how I'm constantly seeking that high ground, how I'm constantly just pressuring the enemy team, and how this is so abusable in Diamond. Like, in my opinion, like, it should be very easy for so many people, as long as their mechanics are decent, to get out Diamond, because this kind of play style is so easy. And if you do this in like gold or platinum, this will absolutely dominate. So let's take a look at that. Now, hello, my beautiful and lovely gamers. As always, my name is Jonal. If you like this type of content, liking this video really helps against YouTube's abusive algorithm, help promote it, help share it around so we can help other people rank up and improve. Of course, a comment down in the comment section does exactly the same. It helps promote the video. Also, the engagement helps me judge what you guys want to see in the future. What heroes do you want to see me do breakdowns on? What guides do you want to see? What games? What ranks? Like, what do you want to see in the future? All that feedback, comments, it's so appreciated. It helps out the channel. It helps me choose the direction that the viewers actually want and make content that you guys will enjoy. Same goes for subscribing to the channel and turning on bell notification. It will keep you notified, and also it will help us reach the goal. 20,000 subscribers by the end of 2020. We have a little bit over a month left after recording this video, and we're about like 270 subscribers away. It would be a dream come true if we could hit that. So thank you guys so much for subscribing, making that dream of mine come true, making my 2020 a little bit better. And of course, if you want to rank up, improve, and get better at the game, and also support me and the channel financially, it's 50 euros for a 2-hour private coaching session. Hit me up in my Discord server down in the description. Doesn't matter if you're bronze or top 500 or whatever role or hero you play, I can help you rank up, improve, and get better at this game much faster. So, with no further ado, let's break this stuff down. We start here. This is our team composition. We have a Ryan Saria. Very important thing to always check first. Where is your team? I know where my team is. I know they're playing over here. So I know that, okay, my team might push up and play here to choke point, but then initially not here. So currently, my thought process is just to play here and see for how long time I can hold this. This, of course, is a very powerful position. From this high ground, I can control this high ground, certainly, by playing this wall here, which you will see me do majority of the time. If I have this high ground myself, so if I can control it, go up and down, and constantly harass whoever's on this high ground, I'm a lot of time building a lot of blade, getting kill potential on whoever's on the high ground if it's a squishy DPS. And I'm also, if I can manage to like force like somebody down like a tank, I will have this high ground where I can sit and I can attack their back line, I can attack their front line. If they're pushing down here where my team can engage, I'll get like a really good angle while still being safe, right? Like, I can dash from this high ground over to my team if I need to. If I feel like my team is backing off or holding this high ground and the enemy team is pushing in from my flank, I can escape here. Or I can just hold this. I can hold this and play it very safely because of the dash rate. So even if the enemy team pushes in and claims this part of the map So I can't play this wall anymore. As long as there's nobody on the high ground that I'm scared of, I can play this high ground. And if I for some reason get pushed off, I can always dash back to my team, pop my deflect. So I can be incredibly active, always be able to take kill participation, always doing a lot of damage. And you will see how I use that to do this. Now, we won't go through the entire defensive side. We'll be focusing on this very small environment, like this one plus another death. I will die, and then I will use my blade to talk a little bit about the timing of using Dragonblades. I think there's like 2 or 3 blades in this sequence on the defensive side. Very, very important to kind of check out the timing of when I decide to use them. So we get value, because the enemy team are doing a lot of stuff to disrupt my team. So let's talk about this. So we start off here with some poking. Of course, I'm very, very aware that there might be a Widowmaker, so I help my finger, just like when you're driving a car and you hold your foot on the brakes if you are in an area that you think you might need to brake. I do the same thing. I know this is very, very common spot to be sniped at. I'm holding my finger on the deflect button. I now know this is down, so I will change up the way that I play, right? I'll kind of like do wall climbs here to kind of check there's people on high ground. Notice this. Notice the small stuff. I land. So I know my deflect is down, so I know peeking angles against hogs and stuff, which I saw in the beginning, is scary. So what I will do, I will go back here. I'll, of course, reload, wait out. I will jump here so I get a wall climb. That way, if he's hard scoping this corner, like if he's hard scoping like right here, and head height for me to peek, I'm from a very different angle, which makes it safe for me against both hogs coming from here, also Widowmakers holding top of these cots here. So very, very normal stuff doing this wall climb. I get a little bit of an overview situation here. Notice I'm across here still in this high ground because I'm assuming the hog is coming here. So I'm going here. I'm going to hit a couple of shots to deal some damage. And then notice where I landed. That was so bad. Why did it not hit where I wanted it to hit? Okay, so we're back. I hit fucking way back when I was trying to hit the replay button or the pause button. Let's continue with this. Sorry about that. Anyway, I'll do my climb here. I get this stuff up and then notice where I land. I immediately, once again, land right on the ledge so I can use cover again. I don't land like here, out in the open where I don't have any cover, where my position is very half-assed, right? I always want to use cover, right? But because I'm swinging so wide, instead of landing just out here, I purposely land, I'll slow this down, I purposely land here, very barely on the edge, where I still have a footing, right? So I don't like drop here in front of them. I land barely here on the ledge. Very small detail, but very important, because it does that he can't hook me. Because immediately I move behind here. So now my hitbox is broken. So even if you get the hook, my momentum will carry me to the side and break the chain. Very, very important, very tiny detail, but very important detail, right? To keep this pressure going. Of course, I'm going to do a small wall climb here. This is actually very risky. That one was a very risky move that I decided to take because I wanted to keep that extra damage. Notice that I stayed for a very long time here because of that small climb was a little bit too long. I stayed a little bit too long here where he actually could have hooked me relatively easy if he had predicted it. I'm very lucky that the hog is not good enough to know that, so I get to escape that. But again, I noted it. I remember specifically, because I played this like last night at like 2 a.m. or some bullshit like that. I remember specifically noting down that, okay, that was bad. In my head, because I knew I was dead. I thought I was going to die there. If this was a highly... sorry about that. I have some issues with my throat currently. If this were highly again, I would have get punished. Here I'm just pre-firing some stuff, dealing some hot damage to the hog. Once again, keeping my space without making myself risky, right? If I go down here, this becomes like a very easy way for him to hook me if I'm climbing up and down like this. But going to the side here allows me to get this angle, which once again, by using this part of the wall, makes it very difficult for him to hit me. So I'm kind of reloading here, going up, taking some free shots. Notice again that I was very, very close. I climbed up. I was very close here, so I could quickly get to this wall if I needed to. That way, if he peeked me, I wouldn't be forced to drop, which is really, really predictable. I could do the faster thing of jumping to the side and start to climb. One, keeping me active in this space, keep me dealing damage. And two, doing that it would be a lower chance of him hooking me. Here I'm going to go very, very wide to trade some damage. Use my deflect to push that position. Go straight in the face of the hog. Once again, do the same climb. He wastes his hook. I immediately dash in to punish. That dash was not to kill him. That dash was to punish him. I did not think I was going to need the dash within the 8 seconds. I'm going to just play this position. As he was moving away, I didn't think that anything was going to happen. I knew my team wasn't pushed up, wasn't really going to be fighting here. So I wasn't in a spot where, okay, I'm anyway going to need my dash, right? So even if I had my dash here, I wouldn't be able to use it, right? I'm going to take this position up here. Notice that my dash is 2 seconds off. He's gonna die, so I couldn't even anyway do the damage. I'm gonna drop. This is actually really risky. I am relying on the fact that I didn't see anybody double back to counter me when I took this high ground from them. So I'm really, really counting on that and my mechanics to get this mercy. If not, then this is very, very suicidal, right? Like, I need to drop from this high ground to effectively be able to quickly do right clicks. And I want to remove their support backline, because I'm pretty sure when I went over here and I looked at the enemy team and I didn't see my tank being pushed up, I was taking that as we are losing this fight tank-wise. We're losing a lot of space here. They're pressuring us out. So I want to go for a really, really powerful play while the enemy team is basically pushing my team, right? When their front line is pushing forward, their back line normally left behind, as the enemy team is engaged with my front line and therefore busy fighting them, not busy watching their back line, not busy peeling for their back line, right? So I get this mercy. I also go for the dash onto the Tracer, which is relatively risky, as again, I'm hoping the enemy team is bad enough. What I should have done is, of course, I should have quickly, if this was a high alert, I should quickly have taken my high ground again and then tried to play from there. I did this to burn out the recall and keep the kind of the steam going. Now I'm pedaling to my team, which for me is good enough that they push up here and claim some space. And once again, I claim my high ground. Keep on playing here, doing some risky shots against the Widow. I don't think he can hit me, as I don't think he's good enough. I'm going to trade here. Once again, doing one of those where I do jumps to avoid LOS. So I go in here, he sees me, I take some shots, I mistime my deflect. I move here, I jump here, so I can barely get his hitbox. I look away and I do a wall climb to make it very difficult for him to see me. If we look at from his point of view, I actually haven't done this. It should be relatively weird for him to kind of look at me. So he's going to take a shot at the shield. He's going to then look at me, hit me right before my deflect goes up. And then I do that, right? And he barely sees me. Like, he barely sees me for like a second. Because if you notice how my crosshair was put in this move, I purposely, see if I can get the perfect timing. I go up here, I fuck up my timing. And then notice here how little I'm moving my crosshair very close to this ledge, moving back so I can barely see his head box, and then I'm taking my shot. Very, very, very small detail, but because I take the shot and then immediately do a wall climb here, I immediately move past cover by using this part of the wall to once again circumvent his LOS. So he barely sees me. And because this is projectile, I send the shot, the shurikens are still mid-air as they're flying towards him while I'm doing my getaway move, right? Which makes it difficult for him to take another shot at me. And because I was the one with the deflect, I chose the timing. I can cancel this whenever the fuck I want. So I'm in control of it. If he shoots too early, right, there's a chance of him killing himself. So I'm going to go very, very aggressive here for absolutely no reason. That was a very stupid move of me. I think I'm really just cocky. Now, notice here that I have Blade. So logically, you'll be thinking, okay, the enemy team is pushing here. They're engaged with my team. Maybe I want to Blade here. I'm, however, not so sure. We lost our Rhine. I'm quite nervous about how this fight is looking. On top of that, I see that my Ana is out of position. I see that my Zarya is out of position here. So I'm a little bit scared of how this would be playing out. If my team is currently backing off and I engage with the Blade, my team will have backed out of the fight while I engage the fight, leaving the enemy team to turn the majority of their players on me. So I want to actually hold my Blade here and see if I can look for an opportunity. I'm going to do some poking. I'm going to take this high ground again once claiming it. And you can see how this looks a little bit bad for my team. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to burn their Tracer. And then I'm like, okay, now I got that. I see 3 supports back here. Their tank is therefore past me. I was assuming somewhere like here. He's a little bit further, actually, than what my head was telling me that he was. Okay, their Mercy went in for some weird reason. I'm still not blading, because again, I still don't have any tanks here that's pressuring. I still don't have anybody taking away attention from me. I'm scared of me engaging here and them just putting so much resources on me. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure their Ana still have a nade, which he has. He just burned it now, for some reason wasting it on the Sigma. I know there's a Widow back here. I know there was a Sigma behind me. There was a Mercy that could glide away, right? I don't want to engage that. I'm scared that the Widow will kill me with the combo of her team. But now, I'm doing it instead. There's no pressure on me. My Zarya is able to push in here, apply a lot of resources. I heard the nade break and heal the Sigma. She doesn't have nade. I can hereby engage because my Zarya is up here. And I know their Mercy is always out of position. That should be relatively easy. I'm very cocky here, not deflecting. I should 100% deflect there. I'm just being cocky, not deflecting, which is just stupid. Like, it doesn't cost me anything to do a deflect. But this is just normal blade. Notice again how it's dash, and then it's just 2 cuts, and nothing fancy about it. The only reason I dash there is because I want to cut, and then I want to move in case somebody else, like here, or a rock coming from the Sigma will try to stun me, right? Here I do a follow on the Ana, and then I do a follow on the Mercy, barely getting a hit, climbing, hitting the right click, and then finishing comboing on the Sigma, and get this kill. I know, actually, we don't get the kill. That's sad, right? And we take the high grounds again. Now, notice how I'm very, very cocky here. I should be very, very aware of the Widowmaker when you're taking those positions. Of course, we know that she's dead and not in play currently, so that's fine because they swapped. But always be aware of that. Here you can see, again, me being very, very greedy and pushing up. It's because I want to, you know, catch these guys by surprise when they're standing still and burn them. Logically, it's complete and utter suicide, as there's no way that I will get out of that successfully, and this will actually be my doom. So this is just me going to be pushing. I'm going to be poking down the hog. Notice that my position was really off there. If they had decided to push out here from multiple angles, I could potentially die. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to challenge the hog. And again, I'm going to use the same rules as always, that I'm going to be playing close to a corner. So you have 2 options against the hog. You have the deflect, and you can always dodge LOS for the hook. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to deflect some stuff, then I'm just going to climb. He wastes his hook, so I don't need to disengage. If I had to disengage, I could just climb down, right? I climb down and I could climb up a different spot where there wasn't a giant gap, or I could jump and climb and then land past here by using the top of the wall, right? So I had those options. Instead I'm going to go here and I'm going to challenge them really hard, constantly doing a lot of damage. Constantly just poking as hard as I can onto these players, dealing some more damage onto the hog, chasing down that kill as he was anti, which was a good anti by my team, trying to punish the Sigma, trying to deflect some damage. Here I'm also doing everything I can to build up a blade. I finally get my dash reset, so I get the chain kill onto this guy. This is the Ana, who is for some reason standing still hard scoping. I now have blade, my Ryan engages, I'm going to follow. Logically, this is a 1 fight, so there's no need to blade here, but I have blade for an upcoming fight. I'm going to keep chasing this with my Ryan. I dash here to try to get in here, and this is where I'm going to die. I'm going to stay here for far too long, and you're also going to see I'm not respecting the Torbjorn damage and not deflecting these shots. My team has also disengaged. My Ryan died here, my team is over here, and I'm going to get pinchered, and I'm going to die. So here I'm going to die. That's fine. If we skip a little bit forward and a little bit back again, we are respawning here. Our entire team is dead. This Genji burned his dash, so I'm going to try to punish that a little bit. Try to deal some more damage, challenging these guys. And now I have blade again. So again, I don't want to engage currently. I'm looking for an opportunity. So currently I'm just staying here. I'm just poking, harassing, trying to see if I can get some abilities out, holding my blade and waiting for a good time. Right? Once again, even though I'm smurfing, I am still aware enough that in Diamond they should be able to punish at least some of this. So I'm constantly harassing, constantly doing some damage. Taking this position over here, dealing some more poke, climbing this wall. Once again, changing angles, using cover all the time. I see my Ryan coming out here from the right side. So I'm like, okay, this might be an engage. I also see a Torbjorn turret getting put up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to destroy the Torbjorn turret so he can't deal passive damage to me while I blade. My Ryan goes in here, right? And my team is also pushing out here from the high ground with the Zarya. So I'm like, okay, my team is now pushing and I'll blade. Now again, these two are really, really dumb. And for some reason pushes up into my Ryan. Which is like, why? But sure, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to hit the blade. Chain onto these guys. He's going to steal my kill. Feels bad, man. And I keep chaining this onto the hog. And so on and so on. We will actually lose this. Surprised or not, because whole hog is really, really strong. He's going to kill Ryan, and then he's going to burst me. And my healers died as well, so even a good blade doesn't always work out. Sometimes the team fights can be turned around. I think that this is a really good video because it shows small details, very small positioning stuff, how you can constantly use angle, how you can constantly use wall climb. Notice how much I was always just wall climbing, changing up angles. I was going down, going up, using a wall to kind of keep myself at the same space, but without taking any damage. And then even in this elo where I'm smurfing on them, I am purposely still holding my blade, still kind of waiting, because I don't have nano. It's very easily countable. It takes a long time for me to get kills, especially in the current like sustained overwatch, where there's so much stuff that can just slow you down with the blades. I'm just waiting for opportunities where I feel that my team is pushing it. I don't even need to like Winston diving on top of them, but just the fact that like my Zarya pushed in, pushed their Sigma back. Their Sigma was backing, my Zarya was pushing. Okay, there's somebody, they can't, if they all turn around on me, like for example, if the Sigma also turn around on me, my Zarya will just roll over them. So he's engaged with somebody and will therefore a lot of time be focused on that. Comparatively, if he is pushing my Zarya is backing off to cover, if I blade then, he might just put up a barrier and then run and turn around and then rock me and then stun me and then I die. That kind of small stuff I think is very, very important. And if you think this video was educational, was helpful, do me a favor, like it, drop down a comment, share it around, and subscribe to the channel. That stuff helps out greatly. I hope you guys like this type of content. Please do take care of yourself. Please just try to stay positive. I love you guys very, very much. Wear a mask. Tell somebody that you love them. And as always, my name is Jonal, and you guys keep the enemy in your crosshair.